Hi there, I'm Anisha Go, and I'm the VP of Marketing for Waitbusters Digital Diner. Today I'd like to give you an overview and a tutorial of the Guest Manager. Now, we've spent a tremendous amount of time talking to a lot of our customers and various establishments, and we wanted to make sure that our features here were completely customizable, which means that you get to use the features that you need and only the ones that you need. So whether it is a wait line, whether it is a reservations only, anything you can turn on or off and use only when you need it and for what makes sense for your establishment. So we're going to start right here at the top, right here at the beginning, and this is that we have multi-language support. Now obviously you can see that everything first is in English, but we can convert all of this from English to Spanish as well as French with just the click of a button, and we will be introducing other languages in the near future. So you can see that, and then we can go back to English. Now we also have live chat support. If you select this button, you need help, you can leave a message. You can get live chat support or leave a message right there. That's that. I'm gonna minimize that. This bell right here shows notifications. Now this is the notification center. So this is very important because it's going to show the hostess whenever someone actually performs an action. Whenever someone gets in a wait line, whenever someone makes a reservation, that's important, especially if someone gets in a wait line, they're going to get a pop-up notification. So they'll be able to see how busy their restaurant is becoming, be able to look at table availability, and so on and so forth. So this is the notification center right here, right there. Now, we're also going to show here, right here in the right-hand corner, where we support server shifts. Now, you'll see if you select the down arrow, there's Friday afternoon, Friday night, or a party, and that is various shifts that have been set up. So what that means is you will have the ability to save a server shift and have it automatically plug in when you select that particular shift. So if you've created that shift, everything will plug in as it had been the previous time that you selected that shift. So that's very nice and convenient and easy. And then right over here, right next to it, we actually also have multiple floor levels for the table manager. So for instance here, we have a main dining floor and a second floor. And this right here in the center is obviously the table manager, and it will show you two separate views of the floor area just by the click of that button. Now, to get into the main segment of what really the guest manager is, we're going to start here on the left-hand side, where we have the different functionalities and the different types of interactions. So we've got first and foremost the wait line. We have jump the line. We have reservations. And then we're going to have seated and finished sections. And these are all optional that you can see, that you can have visible to you on here. And then as you can see here on the right, this is your seating chart, okay? Down here below, these icons, right here, if you click this button, this is going to take you to your video tutorial access. This arrow right here is going to be how to seat a walk-in. So you would click that button and then you would select an unoccupied table and then you would seat a walk-in. This crown button right here will be your VIP control center and setup. So this is where you have all your VIP settings if you want to make a guest a VIP based upon the number of times they've gotten in line, made a reservation over a certain number of days, and then you give them options if their status wants to be removed, if they're a no-show, or if you're using the jump the line feature. So that would be the VIP status. Right here actually is the more settings. We're going to come back to this here, but this is the seating, the guest manager setup here, this icon right here. And then right here is the seating chart setup icon, this button right here. So being that we're going to talk about this, we're going to jump right into this, the seating chart setup, because I want to actually talk about this since it's such a main focus of this video. So let's select this button and then we'll get right into this. So you can see here that this is an overview of your restaurant. Now you're obviously going to make it look like your establishment. You can move tables around, add different size tables, square tables, high tops, 2 tops, 4 tops, and you can see the size tables and things are over here. So this is just the general page right here where you can move things around and add. Obviously this has been completed. And over here on the left is where you're going to actually make the additions and make the changes. Right here is your table. So if you actually move these arrows over, you're going to go from 2 tops, 4 tops, 5 tops, 6 tops, and so forth. And I'm just going to show you how easy it is to take this. So for example, this is a 6-top circular table. I'm going to take that and I'm going to drag that over to my screen, and I've created a table. Now all I have to do is name that table, and then that will be in the list. So we're going to call that table number 600. And if we select save, it's right there, and we can make any rotations, make any changes, and whatnot. And you can also delete that table if you decided you wanted to delete that. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so that's tables. Now if you move next to the next icon, this would be a wall. So any kind of walls, you'll see this is a wall dividing the bar area from the restaurant area. You can take the wall and move that, make those changes. The next icon are doors, and we have all various shaped doors, circular doors, doors that swing in, swing out, and you can place those anywhere you would like. Staircases, windows, and shapes. So there's lots of different icons and different things you can actually move around and make changes to really make this look exactly like your establishment. So it's very, very easy, very helpful. Now finally, I want to move on here to the servers. Now, with your servers, you can actually, as I mentioned before, have select shifts, and you can make edits and make changes there. You can add in your particular servers, and then you can actually assign them to tables. So for example, we have Janice. I'm going to go ahead and edit her information. So that's this pencil button. So she has a particular section name. This is her server name. You have the option of putting in her phone number, and then you create a section color. Now, what is interesting here, and you have, again, this is an option that you have to do, and some restaurants like to do this and some don't, is that if you put her phone number in here, she will actually get a notification if her table is ready. If a guest has been seated at her table, if there's a table needs cleaning status, she will get these notifications. And we are taking things a step further where even in the future, guests can be notified if there is an issue with the table, if a guest needs something, if you choose to go down that path. So there's all different ways that the phone number can be used should the restaurant choose to allow an SMS text to come through to the server's phone number. So that's very interesting, and that's a good way of communicating with your guests. Now also we have the server rotation feature, so you can edit the rotation order. So what that would do is edit the rotation of where someone would be seated and in what timing. Okay, so right now we have the different colors and the different rotations. So if you want to edit the rotation order, we can simply take them and move them and change the order so that if someone was next, actually walked in or was waitlisted and they were to be placed in, they would be placed in the next section as opposed to where it was prior. So they'd be placed in Lauren's section next. So, and then you can hit save, and that will change the rotation order. So very, very interesting, very easy to do, and you can see that it's all color-coded. So that is the seating chart setup. So we're going to go back here. Next, let's talk about the wait line, and that's over here on the left. So this right here is actually showing an example of a restaurant who has multiple wait lines. Now this is an option. You can have just one general wait line, or you can have several for different party sizes or different table sizes. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here, and you can also have a wait line on or off. And you can see right here where it's highlighted. So let me explain to you what I'm talking about here. So this is the wait line setup. This would be a welcome message that would show up in your SMS if you actually got in the wait line and put in your phone number. Wait line party size right here. So you can create from party size of 1 to 2 people, a wait time. You can predict 10 to 20 minutes. That's what you'll say generally you think that the wait time would be. Party size 3 to 4, so on and so forth. You can add additional lines. You can also delete these party sizes. So you can have any of that. You can just have a generic set of party sizes, 1 to 40. You can have anything like that. So you can make any changes that you want based upon what you feel is necessary for your particular restaurant. Okay, so some other really cool features that we have is the ability to automatically close the wait line at a certain time. So if you select this button at this time, say you want to put 5 p.m., the wait line will automatically close. So this will automatically be shut off. All of this will be completely shut down. So that's an automatic feature that you can choose to use. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and unclick that. Now, this is something else that really will save you a lot of stress and a lot of time and energy. And it's a very, very cool feature. It's called our wait line predictor. Now, if I go ahead and click this on, okay, this is going to change things. So you'll see how all of this changes. Now, what this did was, if I unclick this, this had wait time. So you're going to put in a wait time per party size. Now, if I click this, you'll see that all of a sudden it changes to turnaround time, okay? So if you put in a party size of 1 to 2, you average, if you think about in your establishment, the average turnaround time for a party size of 1 to 2, your turnaround time would be about 30 minutes, okay? And then party size 3 to 4, your turnaround time would be 40 minutes, and so on and so forth. So you input what you feel is the average turnaround time for that particular party size. You select save, and then what's going to happen is the wait line times are going to be automatically updated and automatically predicted for you, okay? So what that's going to be based upon is it's going to be based upon the average turnaround time that you inputted and the inventory of tables that you currently have available. So that will make your life a lot easier, especially if it's on a busy night, and it will save your staff a lot of time. So that's a really, really cool feature to have. So I'm going to go ahead and just cancel that so you can see. And we're going to go back over here to the wait line. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to add a person. Say someone just walked in and they want to be added to the wait line, and they're just coming up to the hostess. Okay, so right here is the plus sign. I'm going to go ahead and add myself. I'm going to put my number in here. Okay, and I'm going to say party size 4. I don't have a seating preference, but you can always list a seating preference. You can say first available, whatnot. You can choose any of that, and then you can choose notes. So for example, if I was dining with my family and I needed a high chair, you can type in needs a high chair, or so on. So I'm going to go ahead and select save. Okay, now you'll see that I popped up here. I am in the wait line, party size 4, and you also see that I'm a VIP. The crown showed up. But I want you to look over here. This is on my phone. I received an SMS. So I received an SMS message from the restaurant showing my place in line. Okay. And now you can see right here that I'm currently second in line, and I'm dining with parties of 3 to 4 guests, so I have 4 guests, and this is all my information. And so if I refresh this, I'll be able to see where my updates have refreshed. So if I was, say, 4th or 5th in line, I'd be able to see how that has refreshed if I've gotten up to 3rd in line or 2nd in line. You can see I also have the ability to cancel my place in line, jump the line, or pre-order my meal. So very, very user-friendly. See how easy that is, and this is a very, it's a good way for guests, especially if you have a long wait line. So it's not going to crowd your lobbies. People aren't tied to pagers. You're not paying that excessive pager fee. People aren't stuck holding a pager or a buzzer. And they have the freedom to be able to leave the restaurant, especially if it's in a shopping area. They have the ability to be able to go elsewhere. Or for example, if they got into the wait line from your website, which they can do, you know, they could just take their time at home and get what they need to get done if they saw that it's a 45-minute wait. You know, do some errands or run some errands and then get to the actual restaurant when they see that it's going to be their turn in line. So it makes things a lot more comfortable for the guests, makes things a lot easier, and it really makes your lobbies less crowded, makes things easier for you as well as the restaurant. So it's a really, really nice and easy feature, and it saves you money, obviously. So the other thing that it allows you to do when you have the actual guest phone number is it will allow you to message them back. So if they had put in a request, if they had, for instance, gone onto your website and gotten in the wait line and put in a request for a booster seat or for a high chair, you could then, as the restaurant or as the hostess, message that person and say, did you need a booster seat or did you need an actual high chair? Did you need a child's menu? You can actually ask them questions, and that really makes the guest feel special. It makes them feel like they're important, that they're not just a number. So just these small details, these are all things that we've thought about that really translate into the customer experience. So it's all really, really great stuff that we have going on here. So the other thing that I can show you here, since I've gotten in line here from my mobile device, is this location feature. So this little icon right here. If I click on that, you can see the guest distance from the restaurant. So the distance is 2 miles. It says it's going to take me about 6 minutes, and that's the last update. So if all of a sudden people have gotten out of line, or that you see that the guest is further away than you anticipated and the line is moving quicker, something like that, and you think that they're not going to be able to make their place in line, that will give you, the restaurant, the ability to actually message the individual and say, do you want me to bump you back in line because I don't think you're going to be able to make it? It allows that two-way communication, which is really, really great. So we're going to go ahead and come back here. So we have the wait line. So we have an individual here. I'm going to show you, we have someone who's here, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how we can go ahead and seat them. So this person has been waiting for a very long time, so we're going to go ahead and seat them. You can see so much about someone here, but I'm going to show you, I'm going to explain to you all about all of these icons in a minute, but I'm just going to show you how we can seat this individual that's been in the wait line for so long. That's right here with this check-in. And then we can seat the party. Okay, so let's just go ahead. We'll check him in. We'll say he's arrived. Okay, great. We know he's been checked in. Thank you so much. So that's been crossed off the list. We don't have to worry about that. So we're going to go ahead and seat this person, and all it wants us to do is select an unoccupied table. He's got a party size of 4, so we're going to go ahead and pick seat 317. So you can see that JF has been seated at seat 317. So it works out very well. It's very obvious for the hostess. It's in color right there, and it's very, very easy to do. So now going back here to the wait line to show you these other icons that we have here. Right here, it's the little person icon. That will show you a customer profile, if they have one. Shows you a lot of information about that person. Gives you all of their basic information, any staff tags that have been added by any of the wait staff or anyone from the restaurant, any comments, previous activity, any online orders, whether they were in the wait line, if they were no-shows, anything like that. So it gives you a lot of detail so you could really cater their experience, cater to that person and give them the best possible experience, which, as you know, will keep a guest coming back to your restaurant. So customers like to feel like they're special. So that's very, very important. As I showed you before, this is the check-in icon. This would be the SMS feature where you can send a message to them. You can send a canned message or your own personalized message. That was the seated icon, and this would be to remove them from the wait line. So if I go ahead and delete that, you can remove them or you can mark them as a no-show. So I'm just going to say no. We're going to get out of that. So all very, very easy to do. When you mark them as a no-show, as we showed here, that's something that again, that's a feature that you may choose to use, and that's something where if you would like to have that individual pay a reservation deposit in the future because they have been a no-show in the past, maybe several times, or maybe just because it's once and you have a high-ticket restaurant, that's something you can choose to do as well. So how can people get into a wait line? Well, I touched on this a little bit before. Obviously, an individual can go into a restaurant and go up to the hostess stand, and the host or hostess can actually seat them from the hostess stand. But we can also get in via kiosk if your restaurant has a kiosk. You can, let me see here, right here, you can also have the widget, the wait line widget, on your website. And we have that on various websites, and you have current wait times and you can get in line there. But going back here, we have various channels that you can also use. You can get in line from a Facebook chatbot, the Alexa Assistant, or the SMS bot. So you'll have an assigned number for your restaurant. So, for example, once I've already messaged with a restaurant, I'll have that number, and that's an assigned number. So I can then message in the future with this restaurant and just get in line or make a reservation in the future. So it's very, very easy to do. So getting into the wait line is very simple with Digital Diner. So the next feature I'd like to talk to you about is the Jump the Line feature. Now, this is something that you either love or you hate as a restaurant owner. We've had restaurant owners who go crazy and who use this all the time. Those that do use it, that use it very often, make thousands of dollars a month. Some use it sporadically and make $500 here or there. And then there are other restaurants who, when we brought this up, don't even want to discuss it because they think it's a complete turnoff. So whichever way you look at it, you have the option to turn it on or off at your leisure. Okay? So for example here, we have it turned on now. And you can see that the Jump the Line price is $38. That's what we have it set at. And right now, 2 tables have been reserved. 1 4-top table and 1 2-top table. So you'll see that the 4-top table has been, you'll see that it's actually marked off with lines. So it's table number 406, and then table number 109 is the 2-top table. Now, once 2 people have actually, or 2 customers have reserved those tables, and they've paid the $38 for the Jump the Line fee, the Jump the Line feature will automatically turn off as there's no more tables available. So it's very, very easy. It'll just shut off automatically. So now if you go to the settings right here, you can change your Jump the Line price. You can do any of that you want. You can turn this on when you want, turn it off, just have it when particular nights of the week, maybe on a Friday night where it's very, very busy. So it's a really good feature to have, and it is a very good revenue generator. And you can see it right here where I've gotten in line where that feature, it is turned on. Now, obviously, you're not going to want to do it because I'm first in line right now. But if I was say 15th in line. It was a Friday night and it was very, very busy and I was in a hurry because I had maybe a show to get to. I would maybe want to pay that $38 and jump the line and get ahead of those other 14 people in line. So very, very good feature to have. And people don't know about it. They don't know your place in line. So it's not like other individuals that are there necessarily know that you're skipping ahead. So it's not something that's going to cause a ruckus or cause any kind of problems, but it is a revenue generator for you. So it's a great feature, very fun feature that we have, that we offer. So the next feature I'd like to talk to you about are our reservations. So as I mentioned before, with the Waitline widget, you have the ability to create a reservation from the host stand, from the actual business page, from a Facebook chatbot, from SMS, or from your business page. You can also do so via Amazon Alexa. So you have various different options to actually choose from. Now, right here on the left-hand side, you can see reservations. Now, you have different options available to you for what reservations to see. So right here, if you click on the calendar, you can choose the different date ranges. So you can see just today's reservations, yesterday's, last 7 days, so on and so forth. And this is just this view. So for the view from the hostess stand, okay? So if you wanted to actually see a calendar view, you can go up and select the reservations, and this will give you actually a weekly or a monthly view. And what's interesting and what's good about this is it will also, pulling up this view will also allow you to go through and exclude days. So if you're a restaurant that will close on certain days, if you want to close for certain holidays, so for Christmas week or for spring break, certain things like that, you can go through and exclude certain days out of the month and go through. So that's the easiest way to do it right here, is from this monthly view from this reservations page. So we're going to go ahead and go back here. I'm going to show you a few more features here, a few more of the settings and the different parts under the reservations. Now, we have two individuals here who have made reservations, different party sizes. You can see that one of them is a VIP member because there is a crown beside it. Now, for example, here, I'm going to show you right here. I'm going to go ahead and assign a table. So because Shane is a VIP member, we're going to go ahead and assign a table to him because he has favorite places to sit, and because he's a VIP, we're going to go ahead, and you see this table icon? I'm going to go ahead and select an unoccupied table that happens to be his favorite table, and we're going to assign that to him. So I'm going to go ahead and select this table for him, and you'll see this whole actual screen will pop up. It has the table name, seats, it's currently unoccupied. It's going to give him a reservation time, and we're going to select assign. So when that does that, when I've selected that table, it's going to show the reservation time right here on the screen, so it's very visible for the host or hostess to see. The other part that's interesting is that 30 minutes before that reservation time, that particular table is going to go into a hold mode so that no one that comes in from a wait line or just walk in can actually be seated at that table. So we can make sure that that table is reserved for that particular party. So it's very, very nice, very convenient, and very easy for that hostess to see. So now let's go up here. Let's learn a little bit more about reservations. Like I said right here, this is the ability for the hostess to be able to add a new reservation. And right here are the settings. Now we have table reservation features. So this can be turned on or off. And this is if you want to actually have the reservation feature available for a price. Now, you can turn it on or off. You can have it accessible to all guests or VIPs only. You can make it free. That's to put a table aside. So obviously when you make reservations, you're not necessarily always selecting a particular table. So this is a table selection feature for that particular reservation. So you can make any of these changes. So you can change a price. You can say it's for all guests for a price of $10. They can select their own table. So this would be for like a very special table, similar to what people would do on an airplane. So they would select an upgraded seat or a better seat closer to the front or wherever their preference would be. So under these reservation settings, you also have the reservation deposit feature, which you can turn on or off. And then you have certain rules. Now you can set your deposit price. Now let's turn it on here, for example. You can set your deposit price, and then you can require deposits for all reservations, or you can apply certain rules for previous no-shows, for people that are over a certain party size, or on particular days or time frames. So right here, say we select for party sizes over, we're going to say over 8. So because you wouldn't want for that to turn into a no-show, you might require, say, a $50 deposit because you wouldn't want to lose that much revenue on a table of 8 not showing up. So you might want to actually put a reservation deposit down. So really smart idea. And again, it's something that's completely optional. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that out. And again, you have the ability to actually make a reservation from any of those channels that I mentioned before. You can also make it directly from your phone. You have the ability to also select your table from your phone if you make a reservation via the SMS bot. So you, I don't have it up on my screen there, but you actually have that opportunity to do that as well, instead of having the hostess just be able to actually make that reservation. So you have that chance to do that yourself, similar to how you would if you were making a reservation for a flight. So all very, very easy to do, very customizable, and very convenient for your guest. Here that I want to talk to you about are the seated and finished sections. This is underneath your reservations. Seated is going to show you all of the parties that are currently seated in your dining area, and they're also highlighted, so it makes it very easy for the host or hostess to see. And then your finished section will actually be able to give you a glance at how many parties had been seated over the course of the day. Okay, so in order to seat the party, you obviously know, we have gone through that before. You would go ahead and seat the party. For this individual, if you would like to finish that party, all you need to do is hit that X, and then they will be removed into the finished section. So it will give them a nice overview. It's actually very, very clear for the host or hostess to see. So that's the seated and the finished section. And now finally, I actually just wanted to give you an overview of all the different statuses for the tables. So let me go ahead and just click here on one of these tables, and now you'll see that this whole section here pops up with the different statuses that are available to you. So now you can clearly see right here that it's unoccupied because there's absolutely no highlighting, there's no color, nothing on this. Now you have the option to go ahead and seat a walk-in, and you can select that table or you can update it. You can make a table available that has been previously been occupied. You can hold a table for a reservation, which I showed you how to do that before. Change a table to a needs cleaning status. So for example, if I go ahead and finish up this table, I can then click on that table and change it to a needs cleaning status to make sure that that table gets cleaned before any new guests arrive. I can then take that table, I can seat a guest that's in the wait line. I can take a table and I can merge it with another table, and all you would need to do is select the other table number and then you would merge them. Or I can take it and then I can hold it for a jump the line, which would then add it to my jump the line list right here. So there's lots of different statuses that you can use, and you can see all in all, it's extremely easy to use, very user-friendly for your host or hostess, very easy learning curve, and it's very nice and convenient for your guests, and really, really overall is a very positive, good experience. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to answer anything. Again, I'm Anisha Go. Thanks so much for listening.